Guys, everyone, please check your audio and video settings, please. Are you listening my statements, guys? Everyone, please respond in the chat box, my dear. Everyone, please respond in the chat box, guys. Super, guys. Tell me. Today, our main focus and agenda will be on understanding the flow of execution. Let us focus on flow of execution. Let us concentrate on what? Flow of execution, right, guys? Let's see. Okay, guys. So now let me open Eclipse IDE here.
This meeting is being recorded.
Guys, I hope everyone completed first application. I hope everyone completed yesterday's first application. But without runner, that's up to you. Runner you take a, client application you take a, that's up to you, guys. It should not be a problem. It must not be a problem. Okay, guys. Now listen. One is player info, author info, HK player info. Yeah. Some extra tables will be created as a supporting table to generate the ID values. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about those, the extra tables. Yeah, extra tables definitely will be created for generating generators, boss. For generating the identity values. For generating the identity values, right, guys? That's good. Okay, now listen carefully. Today we want to know the internals of first application flow of execution. How in-memory proxy class code is executing and all this stuff, guys. Okay, everyone, please get into our mini project. Where is our mini project, guys? Where is our mini project, guys? Tell me. Is it our workspace? Yes. Data JPA. Here is there. Everyone, please look at the internals part. Everyone, please look at the internals part. Here is my runners was not runner service. Artist Management Service IMPL. Artist Management Service IMPL. Right. Here is my F3 boss. Here is my F3. Look at the implementation of this method, boss. Look at the implementation of this method. Okay, hold control key and press open the implementation. Hold control key and open the implementation. Look at this. Transactional means what? Okay, transactional automatically there. What does it meaning of transactional, guys? Nothing but, okay. If any exception coming in the execution of this method, the record insertion operation will be rolled back. If no exception is raised, guys, come on. The record insertion operation will be committed. If no exception is raised, the record insertion activity will be committed, boss. What is done? The record insertion activity will be committed. Comfortable, guys? Got the point, my dear? I want reply, guys. Come on. Super, guys. Tell me here, what is the story? See, guys, assert is like a log message, like SOP statement. I'm here, I'm there kind of thing. Check it out. Okay, let it be. So it is checking whether it is empty or not, null or not. If it is not null, generate a log message. Yeah, check it out. Entity information is new entity. That means representing this entity object, already record is not there in the DB table. Already record is not there in the DB table. Then it is calling persist method. This persist method internally uses Hibernate code, and Hibernate code internally generates JDBC code plus insert SQL query, inserts the record. No, it is not a already available entity. Come on, guys. It is not a new entity. For that entity object, already record is there in the table. Then control goes to which block, guys? Else block. Then control goes to which block, guys? Else block. Here, what is the method call we are having? Merge is the method. This merge method call will perform update operation or not? This merge method call will perform update operation or not, guys? This merge method call will perform update operation or not? Persist execute means, that means save method is two angle method, guys. If record is not already there in the table, then it will insert the record. If record is already there in the table, it will update the record. So it is a multi-purpose method, guys. Save method is a multi-purpose. If you look at the list of methods that are there in CRUD repository, if you look at the list of methods that are there in CRUD repository, we have a lot of methods. Nearly 12 methods are there. In that one, methods are there for inserting record, bulk insertion of record. Methods are there for select operation. Methods are there for delete operation. There is no separate method for what? Update operation. Why? Because the save method itself is a multi-purpose method. What is that multi-purpose method? The save method is what? Multi-purpose method, guys. What is that multi-purpose method, guys? If needed, it will insert the record. If record is not already there, if record is already there, it will update the record. Definitely, it will try to what? Update the record. Are you getting my point? See, whatever code I have shown to you, same code I presented here. Check it out. Is new persist method save object operation, else merge method. Yeah, entity manager object internally uses one or other ORM software to complete persistence activity. That ORM software, come on guys, internally uses, generates JDBC code plus SQL query to complete the persistence activity. To simply complete the persistence activity, right guys? At the rate transactional performs commit operation on database software if no exception is raised in business method execution. Otherwise, it will roll back data changes of database software if the exception is raised. If the exception is raised. Are you getting my point? Perfect. In code repository, there is no separate method for update object operation because save method itself can be used for both save object operation and update object operation, right guys? Save method itself can be used for both save object operation and update object operation, guys. Entity manager object is JPA object that encapsulate entire functionality of underlying ORM software like Hibernate and provides API to perform object-based persistence operation. Nothing but a card operation on DB table through objects, guys. Card operation on DB table through objects, guys. Getting my point, boss? Entity manager. Okay, guys. Let me write note, one more. EM dot persist method. Sorry. EM dot persist method. Okay. EM dot persist method internally uses Hibernate API. Hibernate API to perform save object operation. Save object operation. That means record insertion. To perform save object operation. Record insertion. Next one is what, guys? EM dot merge method. Internally uses Hibernate API to perform update object operation. Update object operation. This is going to be a record updation. This is going to be record updation. Here, guys, got the point, my dear. I want reply, boss. Come on, everyone. This is going to be record updation, boss. Yeah. Again, one more note, guys. Internal Hibernate API uses JDBC code plus. What is this? JDBC code plus JDBC code plus SQL queries to complete the persistence operation on DB table records. What records, guys? Simply on DB table records, guys. Yeah. Are you ready to see the flow of execution, my dear? Everyone, are you ready to see the complete flow of execution? Yeah. Here, eye doctor repo. What is this, guys? Eye doctor repo interface, entity class, ID property type. Right, guys? I want reply, my dear. Come on. Next. This is the crude repository. Entity class is doctor. ID property is what? Integer. Okay, now listen. I'm assuming in-memory proxy class might have generated like this. In-memory proxy class, the implementation class of our custom repository interface, iDoctor repo, given by JDK or CZlib libraries, dynamically generated in-memory proxy class. Can I feel this? Yeah, see guys. Public class proxy to implement iDoctor repo, other interfaces. There I have injected entity manager object. Please remember, guys. The moment you added Spring Data JPA starters, entity manager object will come through auto configuration. That's why can be injected automatically to the proxy class object or not. Okay, guys. From this iDoctor report, total how many methods are inherited? 12 methods. All 12 methods will be implemented or not, guys? But right now I am highlighting all the 12 methods are only what? Save method. Only save method I am highlighting. New entity persist method is internally called session.save method of Hibernate API. Okay, session.save method or session.persist method of Hibernate API. Okay, this is session.persist method of Hibernate API that internally call fire persist. This fire persist method internally generates what? JDBC code plus insert SQL code. JDBC code plus insert SQL query for inserting record into DB table. Check it out what's happening. We are calling save method. Inside the proxy class, save method is executing. That is calling EMA, em.persist method, entity manager dot persist method. That internally call Hibernate API save method. That internally calls what? Hibernate API save method. That Hibernate API save method or persist method internally calls what? Fire persist method. What, guys? Fire persist method. And fire service method internally generates what? JDBC code plus insert SQL query. JDBC code plus insert SQL query. Right, guys? Okay, now are you feeling, guys? We are using Spring Data JPA method, save method. That internally using JPA method em.persist. That internally using Hibernate method session.persist. That internally using fire persist. That internally using fire persist. So that fire persist method generates what? JDBC code insert SQL query. So that actually sends and execute what? Insert SQL query in DB table for record insertion. Total how many levels are there? Can you tell me? Service class we call repo.save method. That internally calls em.persist method. Em means entity manager. That internally calls session.persist method of Hibernate API. That internally call fire persist method. This fire persist method, come on guys, generates JDBC code plus insert SQL code. JDBC code plus insert SQL query. Clear, boss? Got the point, my dear? I want reply, my dear. Come on, guys. హలో, ఫోన్ చేసాము, మాట్లాడాము, మా టీం మా వాళ్ళు కూడా వెళ్తున్నారు. ఓకే, రైట్ రైట్ రైట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. Everyone understanding? Can you tell me the levels one more time? Service class calls repo.save method. That internally call em.persist method. That internally call session.persist method. Session.persist method internally call fire persist method. That fire persist method internally generates what? JDBC code plus insert SQL. JDBC code plus insert SQL query, right, guys? These many levels are there. Okay, guys. After that, this is our visible code or internal code, boss. That is not visible code. That is internal code that will execute it. It is part of in-memory proxy class that has been generated, boss. Okay, tell me. Regular service interface, na, boss? Regular service IMPL class, my dear. Come on. Regular application dot properties and Hibernate properties, guys. My net is good, guys. My net is always good. Okay, don't go by number of polls that are there. Just go by speed of the net. Check the speed of the net, then you realize. From my side, no issue, guys. Fast.com. Yeah, don't you think the speed is sufficient to conduct the online classes? Come on, guys. Why are you behaving like this? Okay, come back, come back. Okay, these are application dot properties, regular one. Next, guys, observe this. Okay, maybe other day I have talked about runner class. Today I'm taking what? Client application. Okay, client application come main class. Main class name, main method. We accessed the container. We accessed the Spring Bean object reference. And we prepare the doctor class object. We call the business method. We prepared the doctor class object and we call the business method. We prepared the doctor class object. Okay. We call the business method. Their exception handling is happening, boss. Service dot register doctor SOP message catch block end of the main method. Is it going to be regular method na, boss? Regular code only na? So now be ready. Be ready to see the flow part. Number one, we run the application. Perfect. Control comes to main method B. Are you with me, my dear everyone? B. Spring application dot run method executes. It's nothing but bootstrapping of the application. Okay. In that one, C1. What is C1? IOC container creation inside Spring application dot this. Okay, then D1 takes given class as the configuration class. This class as the configuration class. D2 loads the main class and creates the object and makes it as a Spring Bean. After all, this class is having what? A Spring Boot application annotation. In that process, it becomes configuration class also as Spring Bean. Configuration class also as what? Spring Bean, right? Also as what? Spring Bean, right, boss? E reads the application.property file content to environment object. Reads the application.property file content into what object, guys? Environment object. What object? Environment object. Clear, my dear? Got the point, my dear? Array, JDBC properties, Hibernate properties, no, all of them are there in what? Environment object. Super, guys. Now observe. At the rate enable configuration, enable auto configuration of SBA makes the following classes as what? Spring Beans based on the jar files that are added through auto configuration process. Through auto configuration process. This also uses inputs from application.property file. So as part of auto configuration process, what happens, guys? Hikari data source object pointing to Oracle connection pool is created. Entity manager object is created, encapsulating the functionality of what? Hibernate session factory object. Also conducted indexed data source object or not, guys? Also conducts what? Also holds injected data source object. Okay, both these activities internally uses what? Application.property file data through environment object. Simply application.property file data through environment object that will be used. Okay, once again, check it out. A, clear, boss, run the application. B, main method. C, Spring application dot run method, bootstrapping of the application, right? C, what is C, guys? C, guys. IOC container is created inside the run method. Okay, C2, guys. D, guys, takes the given class as configuration class, loads the class and creates the object. E, guys, application.property file data is read and stored into environment object. F, guys, because at the rate enable auto configuration annotation of SBA, the following classes will be treated as what? Spring Bean, based on the jar files that are added through auto configuration process. Based on the jar file that are added to auto configuration process. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. In that process, Hikari data source object is created pointing to Oracle. Entity manager object is created encapsulating Hibernate functionality. That entity manager object will be linked with the data source object, guys. Okay, both these activities internally uses what? Application.property file content through environment object. That is F, guys. Okay, now listen carefully. G. Yeah, tell me. At the rate component scan annotation of SBA. Array, at the rate Spring Boot application is combination of how many annotation? 3 annotation. One is configuration purpose, one for component scan purpose, one for what? configuration, component scan purpose, enable auto configuration. Okay. Yes, boss. Tell me. Now, what is left, guys? Now, what is left? I want reply. Mr. Bharat, stop using emojis. Focus on the class. Mr. Bharat, the last warning. Stop using emojis. Focus on the class. Dirty fellow. Bada aa gaya to use emojis. Yeah. Component scan takes current package and its sub packages classes that are annotated with stereotype annotations and try to recognize them as spring beans. Yes or no? Na? Try to recognize them as spring bean. Okay, guys, see. Yet component scan annotation of SBA scans the following things in the sub packages of com.nt. Service class because of @service. Okay. Uh, iDoctor repo interface implemented in-memory proxy class, guys. iDoctor repo as the custom repository interface, extending from repository interface directly or indirectly. In this process, Spring Data JPA generates in-memory proxy class as shown above with repository annotation having JPA persistence logic for all CRUD repository method. Now listen carefully, listen carefully. By seeing @service in the given package classes, service class is recognized as Spring. But it notices the repository interface is there, extending from repository interface directly or indirectly. Now, what it will do, the moment it observes repository interface is there, what it will do? It generates in-memory proxy class implementing our repository interface. Inside that, 12 methods are inherited and implemented, and that has become Spring Bean using @repository interface. That becomes Spring Bean using @repository interface. Array, in this process only, in-memory proxy class is generated. Here, boss. This entire in-memory proxy class is generated because of this process. G. This entire in-memory proxy class is generated because of this process. Okay, got it, guys? G1. G1 service class is recognized. G2 in-memory proxy class is generated. What is next one? H. IOC container performed pre-instantiation of singleton scope Spring Beans. In that process, the following Spring Bean class objects will be created. The following Spring Bean class objects will be created, guys. Tell me. First, Ikari data source object, then entity manager object, service class object, proxy class object, guys. And many other objects, entity manager object and other objects also definitely created. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. These are recognized as Spring Bean pre-instantiation. Because of @auto-void annotations, guys, injections also takes place now, boss. HI. Injections also take place. Entity manager object with data source object, proxy to object with entity manager object, service class object with proxy to object. Like this, lot of injections will take place or not. Super. Now, all these objects will be kept in internal cache of IOC container internal cache of IOC container for reusability purpose or not? Simply for reusability purpose, right? Be nice. Spring Bean class object ref, guys. Spring Bean class object ref. Spring Bean class object ref, guys. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay, that is J. After doing all this thing, control comes back to Spring application dot run method call K. On that one, ctx dot get bean method is called L. Taking the bean ID, it will search in internal cache of IOC container M. That will return, come on guys, that will return service object reference or not. That will return service class object reference or not. I want reply. That will return service class object reference or not. That is N. Next what? Okay, entity class object is created with the data. Fine. O. Business method is called. Service class business method is called O. So now service class method executes here or not? P. That internally call repo.save method Q. Repo.save method is nothing but in-memory class proxy class method executes R. Save method. That internally call, is it new entity? Yes, new entity. Okay, persist method is called yes. Persist method is called yes. That internally calls hibernate persist method T. T. That internally calls guys, tell me. T Roman letter 1. Tell me. That internally call fire persist method. Fire persist method will generate what? JDBC code plus insert SQL query. JDBC code plus insert SQL query, right guys? JDBC code plus insert SQL query, guys. Because of that record is inserted. Because of that record is inserted, guys. Okay. Tell me, boss. You, whatever object that is used to insert the record, same object is returned having identity value. Same object is returned back having identity value. So that object comes back to whom? That object comes back to service class method V. Okay, based on that object, we are displaying the message W. Based on that object, we are displaying the message W. That message comes to what? Main method. That message comes to what, guys? Main method X. We are displaying the message Y. And end of the application Z. End of the main method, end of the application execution. By that time, all objects will be vanished, guys. By that time, all the objects will be vanished, right, boss? Okay, guys. I hope you got the clarity, boss. Did I show the generation of in-memory proxy class? Did I involve the, right? Right now you worry about save object operation, guys, please. No, Somesh, it is not object reference. You are giving entity object data is gathered and verified. Record is already there having that data, especially primary key value, especially primary key column value. If already there, same save method perform update operation. Otherwise, same save method performs what? Yeah. Once again, see the flow part. Once again, see the flow part. A, run the application. B, main method. C, run method. C1, IOC container creation internally as part of bootstrapping, right? D, guys. No, it's not end of session, Rakesh Kumar. What the hell you are doing, man? Focus. Did I say end of session? Lazy fellow. Don't want to listen, get out. You're getting null point exception. Very simple, boss. Without creating object, you are trying to call methods on reference variable. By default, reference variable holds what? By default, reference variable holds what? Null. When null is there, if you call method, what you will get? Null pointer exception. When null is there, if you call the method, what you will get? Simply null pointer exception, nothing else. Right, boss? Perfect. Yeah, D, guys. Takes the given class as configuration class, guys. Come on. Okay, guys. Takes the given class as what? Configuration class. Loads that class, creates the object and makes it as a Spring Bean. E, guys. Loads the properties file and stores into environment object. At the rate enable auto configuration of SBA annotation. Observes the jars that are added to build project and try to recognize these classes as what? Spring Bean through auto configuration. They just recognized as Spring Bean through auto. Still objects are not created, guys. One is Ikari data source, other one is entity manager. That is F. G. G is because of component scan that is enabled, guys. We try to recognize stereotype annotation, make those classes as Spring Beans or not. Okay, number one, service class has become Spring Bean. Number two, it looks for other stereotype annotation, not there. But it noticed one interface that is extending from repository interface directly or indirectly. Extending from repository interface directly or indirectly, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. Now what it will do, guys? Based on that interface, right, guys? By seeing that interface, in-memory proxy class is generated in which proxy class is generated having Spring Data JPA persistence logic. This is dynamically generated in-memory proxy class, guys. That's good. That also internally Spring Bean using at the rate repository. Super, guys. After that, what next? H. IOC container looks for pre-instantiation of singleton scope Spring Beans. In that process, it identifies what? Ikari data source, entity manager, service class, proxy to objects will be created, right? Super, boss. Tell me next one. At the rate auto void annotation that is there, Internally performs what, guys? The necessary injection. Internally perform the necessary injections, right? Internally perform the necessary injections. Internally perform the necessary injections. Got it, my dear? Understood my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Entity manager object is created having Ikari data source object. Proxy to is object is proxy object is injected with entity manager object. Service is injected with what is that? Proxy class object, repository object. Super. Lastly, what happened? All in-memory object, all singleton scope Spring Beans will be kept in what? Internal cache of the IOC container. Perfect. Okay. Then what is next, guys? What is next, guys? Run method returns container. We are capturing K. Calling ctx.getBean method. Okay, it comes to where, guys? It comes to where, guys? Internal cache of IOC container. It will collect the service class object. MN. MN. Super. Then what? Oh, after creating doctor class object, we are calling what? Register doctor method. What method? Register doctor method. Oh, guys. Super. This register doctor method internally calls what? Doctor repo.save method. Proxy class save method is called. Proxy class save method internally checking. Okay. Internet. First generator generates ID value. First generator generates ID value. Having that ID value, is there any record in the table? Not there. So that's why persist method execute. That internally called Hibernate persist method. Hibernate persist method internally calls what, guys? Fire persist method. Fire persist method generate JDBC code plus insert SQL query and inserts the record. So now onward, object and record will be there in synchronization or now onwards, the object and record will be there in synchronization or not. Yeah, boss. After that, what next? Record insertion is done. Okay, whatever object that is saved, okay, that object is returned back. That object is returned back. The returned object will come to whom, guys? The returned object will come to whom, guys? Okay, register method, service class method. Service class method will return one message. That message goes to client application. What application? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Yeah, that message is displayed. Then what is there? End of the application. All objects will be vanished. I hope you enjoyed thoroughly flow of execution. Thoroughly flow of execution, guys. Come on, everyone. Yeah, tell me. Programmer uses Spring Data JPA report.save method that internally uses JPA API em.persist method that internally uses Hibernate API session.save method that internally uses JDBC API ps.execute update method. Execute update, guys. This is my insert SQL query. Lastly, what? Database operation takes place. Programmer calls report.save. That internally calls JPA API em.persist. That internally calls session.save. Session.save internally calls JDBC code session.execute update. That will generate insert SQL query. And what is there? Record insertion is completed, guys. Simply the record insertion part is completed or not, guys. Okay, here are some shortcut keys, guys, which I want to tell. Suppose, so the time came this errors are no be named RT is available. No bean name is maybe you are calling ctx.getBean, guys. Maybe you are calling wrong game ctx.getBean. At least in the error only meaning is there, not dirty fellow. No bean name ARTS. You are trying to call ctx.getBean method with the wrong bean ID. Wrong bean ID, right? Full and final wrong bean ID. Is that clear, guys? I want reply, my dear. Yeah, setters methods will be used internally, guys. Yeah, Mr. Chicky. Okay, Mr. Chicky. When you use Lambda KPI, you should use at the rate data. At the rate data will generate the getter setter methods. Still not coming up. You should configure Lambda KPI plugin. You should configure Lambda KPI plugin in Eclipse ID. Give me 2 minutes, I'll show, guys. Give me 2 minutes, I'll show. But let me complete these shortcut keys. Let me complete these shortcut keys, guys. Everyone. Hey, listen, boss. I know class, but that class is not appearing anywhere. I know class. I want to open the class, but that class not appearing anywhere here. Control plus Shift plus T. You search for any class of that is added to class path, guys. For example, I want to open entity manager class. Yes. Okay, we are able to open to entity manager class now, boss. Yes. It's basically an interface, guys. Basically an interface, right? Control plus Shift plus T. To see the source code of certain class or interface or enum, press F3 key. Suppose something is appearing here, boss. Something is appearing here. Auto closable source code I want to see. F3. Auto closable source code has come now, boss. It is appearing and pressing. You want to search and open, Control plus Shift plus T, guys. Once source code is open, to get the list of methods, Control O. So now I want to get auto closable list of method. Control O, you will get a box having list of methods. Select this. Control O. Yeah, only one method is there, that is close method. Go to other one. Okay. Entity manager you select. Control O. So lot of methods are there in entity manager, guys. Lots of methods are there in entity manager, boss. I want reply, guys. Come on. That's good, guys. To get the hierarchy of the classes. Suppose this is there, I want to get hierarchy of this interface. F, what's the shortcut key we got? F4. You will get the hierarchy of the classes. Hierarchy, guys. Okay, entity manager is there, auto closable is there. Hierarchy, inheritance hierarchy of any class you can get, guys. Inheritance hierarchy of any class you can get. Okay, boss. Yeah, people are saying, I watched your videos, I followed, still getter setter methods are not coming. Okay. Or these are only for Eclipse ID? Yeah, definitely, na. When I'm using Eclipse will only, na. IDE shortcuts are not generalized, boss. IDE shortcuts are not generalized, right? Procedure to configure Lambda KPI in the new versions of Eclipse ID. In the new versions of the Eclipse ID. Answer is procedure to configure Lambda KPI with the Eclipse ID. What ID? Eclipse ID. Okay, guys. Don't switch off your cameras, guys. Who switched off the camera? Switch on the camera. Please turn off. Mr. Raman. Okay, Eclipse ID with the new versions of Eclipse ID. New versions of the Eclipse ID. Correct, guys. Perfect. New versions of the Eclipse ID. Okay, guys. Unable to determine without JDBC metadata. Simple, guys. Don't write dialect. You provide proper JDBC properties, problem is solved. You provide proper JDBC properties, dialect is optional. I already said that. Dialect is optional or mandatory, boss? Optional, boss. Why are you paying? Every day, fresh day, na? Okay. Everyone, please come back. How to work with this one, guys? Help menu, install new software. There is something called P2 plugin, guys. There is something called P2 plugin. Lambda KPI P2 plugin. This one you have to select, boss. This one you have to select. It's taking time to download the necessary things. P2 plugin, guys. P2 plugin. Yeah, in my machine it is already installed now. That's why. P2 plugin, P2 plugin. Ramya madam, definitely it will work, madam. You have to show patience. Yeah, in my system, it is already there na boss. That's why it is not allowing to add one more time. It is not allowing me to add one more time, but I will give the procedure, guys. Okay, answer. What is the answer? Install install Lombok API related P2 plugin, guys. Install Lombok API related P2 plugin. Lombok API related P2 plugin, right? Array, you are taking wrong keys, Ra Babu. Failed to configure data source now. You have taken wrong keys. Spring dot data source dot URL you have to use. You have not used the right keys. That's why that error came. As shown below. As shown below. Tell me here, what is the menu? File menu. Oh, no, help menu, guys. What menu? Help menu, right? Sir, at a time only one constructor will be called. Please. If you call one constructor from another constructor, that gives the feeling two constructors will execute. Okay. Yesterday you created object by using three param constructor simultaneously. No param constructor, but at a time only one constructor only will be used now, boss. You and your thoughtless doubts, guys. I kept multiple constructor. Do you think JVM uses all constructors at a time? Then why did you kept, sir? I am using three param constructor. Who knows? Hibernate internally uses zero param constructor to create object, right? For entity class, guys, I'll take your queries at the end of the session. Please focus on this. Please focus on this. Help menu. Tell me, guys. Install new software. Install new software. Tell me. Select the following URL. Select the following URL. Select the following URL. What point, my dear? What point you want, Mr. Somesh? Clearly not written heading. What's the heading that is there? T fellow. Can't even read that headings that are kept in the screen, Ra. Okay. Constructor part, he is asked a simple question. Why are you taking multiple para constructors? I want to create my object by using three param. Hibernate wants to create object using zero param. So I'm just keeping all the parameterized constructors. What's wrong in that? Though you kept multiple constructor, at a time one constructor will be used. Myself using three param constructor to create object. Hibernate maybe internally uses zero param constructor. What the hell of core Java you studied, waste fellows? If you keep multiple constructor, you are confused. Huh? How come at a time 3 constructors are used? That means you don't even know there is a concept called constructor overloading. Yes or no? Na? Constructor overloading is there or not there? Multiple constructors are there, but at a time one constructor will be used, right? For different situation, I may use different parameterized constructor. That's why I kept all of them ready. But I will be using one at a time. If not me, Hibernate will be using one at a time. Okay. Everyone, please ask queries in what? One-to-one mode. Okay, then next one. Next. Next. Okay. Restart ID. Start ID dot dot. Restart ID dot dot dot. After doing this, definitely Lambda KPA will work. After doing this, definitely Lambda KPA will work, guys. See, in my system, artist guys, see, getter setter methods, everything has come now. I kept everything in this artist.java. I kept everything in this artist.java. Come on, guys. At the rate data is taking care of all. At the rate data is taking care of every aspect or not, boss? Okay, guys. Let it be, boss. Now tell me. Let's see one more method, guys, where I want to see persistence. Finder methods in CRUD repository to perform what? Select operations. Finder methods in CRUD repository. So let me start with what? Exit by ID. It is there to check whether record is there or not there. Shall we start doing that work, guys? Come on, everyone. Simple one. I just want to check whether record is available having a given identity value or not. It simply checks whether record is available or not with the given identity value, boss. With the given identity value, right? Service, iArtist management, public boolean, public boolean. Your method is what? Check artist availability. Check artist availability, right, guys? Check artist availability. Okay, into ID. Check artist availability into ID. Artist management. What is there, guys? Artist management. Artist management. Here I am taking Boolean value. Boolean flag. Generally, flag variable name. Boolean variable name we take flag, boss. Flag variable name we take flag. Flag variable name we take what? Super, guys. Tell me, artist repo dot exist by ID. Here is what? Return flag. What is there? Return flag, guys. Come on. Next. Here is my runner, guys. Here is my runner, guys. I don't want to do no more save operations. I don't want to do any save operations. That's good. Slash. Here you observe, guys. Try block. Try block. Tell me, guys. Sys out. Artist service dot check artist availability. Check artist availability. Number one, I am doing this. Having number one ID value, artist is available or not. Artist available or artist is available or not, guys. What is there? Catch. Exception E. E dot print status. What dot print status, guys? E dot print status. Com dot nt. Right click, guys. Run as Java application. Artist available or not? True na, boss? Artist available or not? True. It is giving true na, boss? Okay. Now I'll try to give another artist. Runner. I'll try to give the number 15, guys. I'll try to give the 15. 15. Artist is available or not. Let's run the application, boss. Right click. Run as Java application. 15 ID artist is available or not? 15 ID artist is available or not? False. It's going to be false or not? Definitely it is going to be false or not. I want reply, my dear. Come on. Got the clarity, my dear. Come on, everyone. Here is my exist by ID, boss. Exist by ID. Returns whether an entity or record with a given ID exists or not. Okay, guys. Parameters. ID must not be null. Returns. Given existing ID false, otherwise throws. If we give in null as the ID value, we'll get illegal argument exception. Okay, guys. The methods that are defined in dynamically generated in-memory proxy class, implementing our custom repository interface, will throw all their exceptions as what? Unchecked exceptions. These exceptions will propagate to service class to client application or runner. So we need to catch and handle exception in client application or runner class to display exception related messages to end user as non-technical guiding messages. Yesterday also I have highlighted, guys. The original logic is there in in-memory proxy class. What exception it throws? Unchecked exception. They will propagate whenever exception raised, since we are not catching and handling, propagate as it is to what? Service. Are we catching and handling in service? No. They propagate to whom? Runner or client. So at least in runner or client, you have to catch and handle so that we can display what? Exception related messages as what? Non-technical guiding messages, guys. What messages, guys? Non-technical guiding messages, right? Are you getting my point? I want to check whether customer available or not. I want to check whether is available. Tell me here what is there. Predefined repository interface hierarchy in Spring Boot 2.x. Repository, code repository, parsing and sorting repository, JPA repository. Yes or no, na guys? Predefined repository interface hierarchy in 3.x. Repository, code and parsing and sorting separate. Under this list crowd, list paging and sorting repository. Under this JPA repository. Everyone getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Super. Okay, guys. Now we have little amount of Mongo Mingo. That's a separate one. First, we'll learn one JPA repository. Can I take one method as count method, guys? Public long show artist count. Artist count. So artist count, guys. So artist count. Yeah, we have a ready-made method, guys. See, instead of writing logic boss, use the repo. Instead of writing separate statement also, guys. Artist repo dot. Artist repo dot. What is there, guys? That's it. Hey, what a beautiful things, guys. Big things are happening just like that. Big things are happening just like that now, boss. CRUD repository runner. Let me comment this code, guys. Here is what? Try block. Here is my try block. Tell me. Artist count. Artist count. Artist service dot. What service dot? Artist service dot. Tell me. What is the method we got, guys? Show count. Show artist count. Here is my catch. Exception E. E dot print stack trace. E dot print stack trace. Right click. Run as Java application. Right click. Run as Java application. Artist count is 3, guys. Artist count is 3. Artist count is 3, guys. Yeah. The number of rows. How many rows are there? 3 rows are there. Like this, lots of methods are there, guys. We can take each method and we can do each operation. Fine. Today you got internals of everything. Internals of everything, we got it now, boss. Super. Right. I have given debugging videos to watch. And some pending videos also there from your side. Okay. Just completed 3 method out of 12 method. When we meet in next class, we are going to talk about remaining methods. It's going to be more interesting, guys. Lot of Java 8 features also we are going to use in coming days, guys. So can I upload the material? Yes, 7 a.m. Happy Diwali, yeah, fine. Don't burn hands, don't burn money. And at least tell to yourself, next Diwali will be with my money. Next Diwali will be with my money. Take it seriously. What's your date? What's your date, guys? 16/8, right? 16/8 only, na? Spring Boot course, Spring Data JPA. And don't burn money means don't burn crackers also indirectly. Yeah. Tell me, guys, e dry, class content. E dry, class content, Spring here. Come on, next one. 618, 1102. 1102, Spring Boot data JPA. What is today's date? 30th, guys. Perfect. Okay, done. And as I promised, I think 11 a.m. Tell me. Classroom applications, September 24th. It's been long time not giving classroom applications. File upload, guys. How many days are? Only tomorrow. Sorry. Only tomorrow. I keep on saying, don't ask the same stupid question again. How many times I said we have only 1 day holiday for Diwali? Okay, I'm not able to have any option of running Java mode, sir. Change prospect to project prospect to, it will come automatically. Change project prospect to, it will come automatically. Okay. Now, or you add JDK libraries. You try to add JDK libraries. That's the only option you have. I don't want metadata. Okay. Right click, add to zip file. Add to zip file. Up to what is there, guys? October, up to October 30th, 2024. Pen this. Okay. Current day applications also given to you people, guys. Right. Thank you, guys. Happy Diwali. Okay. Sandeep, mail me. Thank you, guys. Happy Diwali. SQL exception is coming up. SQL exception means that is not official. Besides that, the description might be coming. Tell me what is the description. Send me a screenshot. I'll reply. Right, guys? Only tomorrow holiday, guys. Tomorrow holiday. Next class will be on Friday. It will be both offline and online mode, guys. It will be both offline and online mode. Thank you, guys. Have